I am Weava. If you have never been here before, this is full frontal assault. My color caster is going to be Gun, the North Korean. I'm going to be doing play-by-play today. I hope you guys enjoy. We have now modified this tournament down a couple times, and we're going to be doing a round robin and then a best of 3 at the end for our finals. So hopefully we have some joyous games for you, and you can, love everything that we do. So without further ado, let's get this started. We'll get Gun in here. All right, kicking this bad boy off. How you doing, Gun?
Doing pretty good.
There we go.
We
made it. Yeah, it's been a month since we haven't seen this guy. He's been doing some stuff, taking care of some things, you know, being an adult.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Anything you want to share with anybody, Gun?
Well, making some big decisions here, looking into buying a home over here and, been doing that. But mostly just taking time away from the game so that I can come back and appreciate it more.
There you go. You got to do that.
Yeah.
You got to do that. Definitely. All right. So these guys are hot to get into Champ Select. So let's get this thing going.
Okay.
All right. I don't have any Champ Select music that's, fantastic, but it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What are these guys doing? Who are these people? Get this thing started. Let's go. We'll use some free music that we have. All right. So, Tournament Champ Select. Woo!
Yeah, I'm excited about this because we're going to see everyone play their best champions, right? They're, a lot of the times when people play, even in just serious normal games, there's a sort of level of competitive attitude that's just absolutely missing. And here, people are playing for something's at stake, and I'm excited to see people try to the best of their ability. So that means during picks and bans here, we're talking about things that they don't want to see, because unlike other tournament modes, I don't think they're going to be able to see unless they look up on some other website, what their opponents are going to pick.
You are correct.
So I'm excited to see the picks and bans here, mostly because everyone's going to be going to their comfort picks.
Yep. Okay. And as we saw already, it looks like some people were doing a little bit of research. We got some bans coming out.
And, yeah, we do see from that Thresh ban Morgana pick. That's interesting, right? Yeah,
there's going to be so one of the things that's very important to note is that they are in actual competitive format. So the top laner is at the top and the support is at the bottom of the list. So based on the bans, I think it looks like Darth Ader is going to be supporting. And right. I believe that's why that Senna ban came out. He does play Senna. He has been playing some Lulu as well. But on the other side, you're actually looking at a Thresh ban. So I know they've done their research and they don't like those matchups. So I think they were kind of expecting to get a Senna. Which would have been very dangerous, as Thresh is really good into her naturally because, Lantern and such, and she's scared of him and all that.
One thing FunEmployed has to figure out, though, is whether that Karma is going to go mid or go support. Same with Morgana, too, although it's less likely that Morgana does go mid. We do see her more often go bottom. I have seen a couple of streams where she is showing up in the jungle. What are your thoughts about that, Weava?
So I want to assume... I want to... well, there you go. But I want to assume that that's going to be mid lane because it does look like And I'm Dunice is playing mid. And right now, fun fact, she does have a 100% win rate on Morgana. So that would kind of play to the notion that that would be going to mid lane. So there is the one thing is there's a Karma, and the Karma can be played in top as well as mid lane and in bot lane. However, being that there is an Orianna lock in here, I do think that will probably be a bot lane Karma.
Right. Right, and so we're going to have the bot and the middle lane settled out here. So the bans for the jungle and the tops going out. Gnar and Trundle. That's really interesting. The two mid lane matchups for me is going to be really interesting. The reason I like the Morgana pick is that right now it's basically feeding into the Protective Vayne comp, right? So I want to see on the side of FreeloNStitch here things that can dive into the Vayne and kill her. or to kill the support front line, which is something that's going to be forming here. We still have top and jungle about to be formed. I'm thinking, for jungle picks, probably something like Jarvan is going to be interesting, where you have that frontline capacity with support from um, s- um, that lance he throws out for the attack speed bonus.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other ways that you could, do some sort of support jungle, so that would be very interesting. They would need some form of AP as well, but they're gonna need some form of damage source here on the side of FunEmployed. So okay, good.
Oh,
Zach
okay.
coming in,
So
good
both
AP tank
teams.
damage.
Both teams picking up a good form of engage. They want to leave themselves, saying, "Hey, we can't, take a fight if we want to take a fight." That, like we always say, like that authorship of being able to pick the fights that you want, especially in the
Right.
early game, it really, really matters. I want to say that from the side of FreeloNStitch, there might be an AD top laner coming because Sejuani functions very, very well with an AD top laner. Usually, someone who has a CC, and I think it's a Jax. It might be very interesting because there you go. I was gonna say because Renekton is okay, but you still have to kind of play the matchup. But Wukong has been very, very popular competitive right now.
Especially in the laning phase, the Wukong matchup into the Jax is going to be pretty strong because it allows that Wukong to mitigate a lot of the damage coming out of the Jax, especially the single target damage. So Wukong is going to have a really strong laning phase here, and in the skirmishes, the synergy between Sejuani and Wukong is going to be absolutely dominating. You have also the Orianna ultimate coming in to make these really insane wombo combos. However, I do think that FunEmployed does have a really good pick, and they do have a lot of shields and heals that are going to make a lot of these kills very interesting. Well, actually, so does FreeloNStitch. Karma has an AOE heal and shield. Orianna has a shield as well. So this is going to be a really interesting game. I don't think, based on the comp, in my opinion, any one side has a significant advantage. I think the picks and bans went fairly well for both teams, and so it's just going to come down to skill. What are your thoughts on that, Weava?
I actually think that, like you said, they both have fairly good skirmish, fairly good team fight, which is kind of not something that you really see often. When you have
Right.
these skirmishy type of comps, all you need is three champions that kind of work well together, and the early game looks pretty good. So I think on the side of FunEmployed, they're looking for scaling. Soraka becomes really ridiculous later in the game if you don't have a lot of ways to get onto targets in the back. So when I say that, I mean like right now, other than Sejuani jumping to the back line and having a Wukong through Soraka heal probably doesn't finalize the target. So
Right.
it's very difficult to see if this game goes, let's say 35, 40 minutes. Not to say that they'll steamroll them, but I think FunEmployed actually has an edge here due to the fact that they will have that Vayne. They're going to have Morgana to negate any of the CC. They're going to have Jax. They have Zac, who is always reliable damage and, knock around. So I really think that this is going to be kind of like a game of time. I think if it goes even all the way through to about 30 minutes, I think I'm going to have to put the ball in the court of FunEmployed here over FreeloNStitch.
Yeah, the scaling on the Vayne and the Jax is going to be good. Thinking about the Wukong build that he's going to have to decide on this game is also really interesting on that note, because you can have the Wukong build lethality or damage items or something like that that is going to be able to absolutely demolish a Soraka, demolish a Vayne, right? But that's also going to make him more of an assassin and therefore susceptible to death afterwards, meaning
Correct.
his team is going to have to fight on their own. And so I'm interested to see if that Wukong is going to go bruiser or tank or assassin, because he has that option. Whereas, Jax, Zac, Vayne, we all know what that build path is going to be. There's no surprises there. So that Wukong is, I think, sort of a wild card in terms of builds here, where everyone else kind of has the standard build. You look it up on a guide and you're going to
Yeah.
pick that first build kind of path. Whereas Wukong has several in front of him that he could choose from. So I'm actually kind of interested to see whether, for example, he gets a lead and if he decides to go assassin so
Yep.
that they can try to win early. so that they could just try to win before that 30-minute mark that you're talking about. So that would be really fascinating, because the other path that he can go is, well, if I'm not winning my lane hard early on, I'm just going to build, something bruisery or something a little bit on the tankier side so that I can survive the front line. And that might be a mistake, because I think he needs to be able to just really knock down a Jax, knock down a Soraka or a Vayne.
Right.
So I'm kind of excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, me too. So everybody should know we are on our 3-minute delay. We're going to be getting into this in just a second. We're going to line ourselves up before we jump into game, so there's no chaos going on. And we'll be back with you in maybe about 45 seconds. All right, Gun. So we're going to line ourselves up. All right, guys, we are back. Getting into this game. So Team FunEmployed versus FreeloNStitch. We are, ooh, look at this, the level 1. The level 1 is looking juicy already.
We do have a fanned out approach from FunEmployed, looking for where the ganks are coming from. Darth Ader stepping forward on that Soraka, looking for that cheese invade. Going to be thwarted by that ward as well.
Oh boy.
Not looking to level 1 fight. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. I do think FunEmployed has a really strong level 1. I think they're just a little bit nervous because maybe that's not the path to the win condition.
Right.
I do know that, if FreeloNStitch were to have grabbed the first blood there, that might have been demoralizing. And so maybe that's one of those things that they wanted to just sort of
Risk
avoid.
avert, yeah.
So that they can, just keep morality high. Just keep it, neutral, at least at the start of the game, so that you're not in the hole and trying to dig your way out. So that's one of those things where, as a team, you got to decide, like, hey, how do our players play? What is their mental like, and how do we preserve it? So that's one of those decisions where right off the bat they were like, fan out, let's not fight.
So
I like that call.
Standard starts.
It's a team effort.
It is. It is very much so. The standard starts, getting a little bit of a trade damage though. This is gonna be quite the lane, I think. If you're Morgana, are you just playing this pretty basic, like waiting to scale your W, kill the back line, stay away from the Orianna, like playing for later?
Yeah, there's an AP point that Morgana gets to actually based on level. It's at level 5 when she has 3 points in that W that she's allowed to instantly kill that back line. And what's interesting about that is that it lets her roam either top or bottom. So she can either play out that mid situation and play for CS, or she can go for kills. And let's see what she's going to do with that.
We have our standard clears going on. Both junglers, I was going to say both junglers clearing their full side of the jungle, but not leaving the Krugs. I know a lot of people like to bypass that, but that actually is going to... I don't believe he gets 3 there. I could be wrong, but... I might be wrong on that, but I don't think he gets 3 off of that. Sejuani already 3, heading over to the red buff, though.
Yep, and we did see a skirmish up top because that Wukong was able to hit level 2 fairly quickly.
Yeah, he had that little bit of push. Jax did start E for the defensive start. There it is. Jump forward, leap. Gets the counter strike, gets a little bit of damage. Wukong with the trade back. And so I was correct. Anybody who's jungling, you need to do one full side. One full side. The camps are designed so that if you do one full side clear, you get level 3. If you skip Krugs and you go to Wolves, they're not worth as much. So you do not get level 3 off of that. Just a heads up. Okay, a little bit of trades. Morgana. Okay. Not quite getting all of the wave, but shoving it in. There's a little bit of a CS lead on top side, though. If you're the Jax, are you just kind of hanging out right now and like expecting to wait and just outscale this guy?
I mean, part of the, you know, the laning phase is going to be testing out how good that Wukong is, you know, seeing if what he can get away with, and I think that's what he's kind of probing for right now.
That was a really good
the
trade.
other thing is, yeah, that was a good trade. The other thing is, you know, with the Jax, he's thinking, I got late game, I need to scale, I just need to CS and play it safe. So there's kind of a little ebb and flow here in terms of...
Karma going in, gets the barrier, gets the condemn, trying to trade back. That is heal going out. Exhaust onto the Vayne. That's a flash.
On the Vayne.
Okay, gets the flash out. Not bad. Sejuani pathing down, looking for a dive possibly. They are looking for the dive. However, Zach coming in. I don't think he jumps on that turret. A little bit. Ooh, chunking him out. Very, very low. Staying on the turret. I think this is greedy if they stay here.
Really greedy if they stay. The Vayne tumble forward is, I think, you know, after the condemn into the wall was a little bit greedy because he's going to go in 1v2. He needed to just stay back, take the trade as it was. You know, it was a bad trade, unfortunate, but yeah, I think he made it a little bit worse. Especially with the Caitlyn Karma laning phase. They're going to have a stronger laning phase.
They're pathing down again. Sejuani looking for it. Sejuani does flash. Gets the condemn, knocks him back. Possibly picking up at least the Vayne. Oh, the little bit of heal. Oh, that's a kill. That was such a greedy recall.
What was that recall? He needed to go way further back. That was a huge mistake on the part of Soraka. No one needed to die there. And so that's first blood.
That's first blood going over to the Karma. All right. Well, guys, if you didn't know, do not recall on the vision of other people when you have 5 HP. Just throwing that out there.
A little bit of greed there. A little bit of too much confidence.
I'm sure he's upset at himself. It's okay. We'll let that one rock. So the ward just dying here. Did spot the Zac. Okay. Orianna playing accordingly.
So Zac did manage to get a bunch of vision into the side of FreeloNStitch over on that top side, though he didn't really get anything else in the side of gold or kills or anything like that. He was able to go and put those wards in. That's going to allow them to see whether that Sejuani is going to be top side, which is great information for the for the Jax up top, who might be able to get some kills onto that Wukong, especially as they start approaching level 6.
Yeah, the Zac level 4, you know, able to actually gank now. His elastic slingshot is not really that far beforehand, so you're definitely looking to get that level 4 in. I'm gonna see. It's BF sword to dagger and boots. So Caitlyn, Karma definitely having the poke advantage, but you do have a Soraka in the lane, so you know.
Right.
There's that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the Vayne decides to build here.
Yeah.
Most likely, I think he has to go heal in this particular case. After that trade, he might be feeling a little bit wanting to go passive, and so maybe a Vamp Scepter. That's kind of redundant with the Soraka, but would make him really tanky in these trades. You can see he's having to chug a potion there just to try to go up in CS.
Yeah, that's a lot of poke. That's a lot of poke. Jax right now falling behind in CS. The wave is crashing into Wukong's tower, so he's going to pick up this CS plus the next wave. So I think he's going to have probably about a 15 CS lead. Sejuani on the bot side pathing down. We'll see if she gets spotted. She will get spotted after taking a Scuttle Crab, though. Looks like... Yep. Oh, Zac looking for the engage. Misses it. Orianna moving. Morgana moving as well. Okay, that's just a bailout. They're going to get the ward. They don't get the ward.
Oh, yeah, they don't get the ward.
They did not get the ward.
Zac with the movements down here, not getting too much. And the Sejuani pressure, I think she's doing a great job. Maximus moving around the map, getting his CS, getting these wards down, counter warding, able to get that first blood indirectly. So really great movements here. We need to see a little bit more proactiveness from the Zac, but he's sort of beating this dead horse here, trying to get this gang down bottom. I think he needs to go clear his red, clear his Raptors that are coming up, because Sejuani is going on her jungle path. So, you know, Zac is just sitting here, not gaining anything else on the map.
And Wukong going in for a quick trade on the Jax. Jax jumping forward. Okay. And yeah, that's kind of the theme right now, because if you take a look at the CS down there, you'll see that in every single lane right now there is a CS advantage, and that's how they're accruing their lead. They're closing in on a 2.5K lead at 8 minutes, and it's all basically on CS. I mean, 400 gold for, you know, to a Karma, but aside from that, it's almost like a 20 CS lead in every lane. And the jungle itself.
It is. And the jungler, you know, this Sejuani is up almost an entire level on the Zac because of the past couple of minutes here, with that wasted movement down bottom without netting anything.
Oh, big gang coming. Jack's probably gonna fight this. Wukong goes in, getting poked.
Down.
And so many fights going on everywhere. That's a flash burned out of the Orianna. That's a good block on the Caitlyn ultimate. Ace and hold down. And Jax gets out without having to burn his flash at top lane. So lucky enough for him. Good job out of Morgana to get the flash out of Orianna, though. So hopefully Zac can come around and, you know, make that worth it. We'll see if he uses that timer. Soraka. Oh! That's a heal barrier used there. Exhaust going out again. Wow. Plenty, plenty, plenty. So another one down. Flash down. Let's see. Zac needs to start moving around here, getting taking advantage of some of these summoners blown. This is his chance to shine. He's got until 14 minutes, guys.
The reason I really like that Karma play is that, you know, even though it blows flash exhaust, it does allow the Karma to push out the Soraka so that this Caitlyn can get a bigger CS lead. So
right.
No, they don't get the kill, but they do get this nearing 30 CS lead down bottom for this Caitlyn.
Oh, and Morgana's gonna live through the black shield. So lucky there. However, you are going to see this Rift Herald coming down in mid. There's going to be a lot of plates going away.
Already a 3K gold difference at the 10-minute mark.
That's a Jax. That's a Jax CP. Yep, Jax CP. Moving forward, just trying to get rid of the Rift Herald, it looks like. They are going to pick up some plates. But, you know, as you said, it's really good to see that Caitlyn getting ahead as she should. You know, some people are like, oh, 10 CS. You know, oh, we're pulling up on 30 CS almost, right? As your CS lead. If you're Vayne, are you worried right now?
Absolutely. I mean, he needs to figure out a way that he can stay in lane, and I think the Vam Scepter is the only thing that he's got in order to make that possible. He's got currently 1,700 gold in his pocket, approaching 1,800. Needs to find a way to back as well, but the relentless push on bottom.
Oh, that is
making that not feasible.
An all-in onto the Vayne here. Sejuani getting caught by the elastic slingshot. Gonna flash out. Gonna get dropped.
Big kill.
Are they gonna chase onto this Karma though? They got the move speed. Zac, oh, doesn't lose his passive. Soraka ult coming out. Caitlyn doing lots of damage here. Free hitting. 4 people in the middle getting corralled. Morgana might fall here. Speeding it up. There's a root coming through. The flash over the wall. Cyclone coming through. The knockup. Zac passive dropping. Wukong going in for it. Gets another for a double kill. The flash forward. The pilt over Peacemaker picking up a 3rd kill. Vayne will fall.
Absolutely well played here on the side of FreeloNStitch. That teleport from the Orianna, who was able to scare the entire team with that ball. It looks like on the side of FunEmployed, they didn't know whether that Orianna had her ult or not. So there was a huge disconnect there between the front line and the back line chase, where Sejuani and Vayne pushed forward, and 2 other players had to stay back because they didn't know the status of that ball.
Yeah, you're right. And I think taking that like we were talking about, small skirmishes, right? They have leads. They are stronger right now. They took a fight, and they took it in the area where they had move speed to catch back up. They chased all the way from bot lane and were able to finalize those kills. That's a lot of kills going over right now. And man, Caitlyn coming back with almost a full IE. Straight into the
That's
damage.
absolutely insane. That's going to make laning phase difficult for everyone. I think on the side of FunEmployed, they needed to, you know, they got that kill on the Sejuani. It went to the Vayne. Everything was looking great, but they wanted more. They had gold in their eyes, and they wanted to push forward onto that without the communication. So I think if they were able to push as 4 onto the speed shrine there, they could have been able to mitigate that back end distraction coming from the Orianna.
Oh, the black shield gets burned off right at the last second there. Gets knocked back.
Beautiful.
Shockwave taking her out. Good overlay. Good overlay.
That Sejuani ult hit as soon as that shield was popped off, or maybe they destroyed it somehow through a distance. I'll have to see that again later. But that was an amazing timing on that Sejuani ult.
Gonna get some plates here. May actually be able to get mid tower. Zach right now ganking at top lane while this is going on. He'll probably have to move to save that tower. Plating fall in 30 seconds, so let's see what else we can get. They're collapsing here. No passive on the Zach. Sejuani gets the Arctic Assault out. Wukong going up. Knock up. Cyclone. Gonna finish off the Zach. Wukong now on a killing spree with 3 kills. Trinity Force, Wukong.
No passive, and they're starting to push this lead. Choke out the possible endgame scenario of FunEmployed here so that they can try to win this game hands down before that 30-minute mark that you were talking about.
So I don't know how to say it. Is it Valte and Nativi Daddy? I don't know. Whatever. They're doing a great job in lane. Keep it up.
Yeah. Pushing
Poking
their
down.
advantage.
Yep.
Huge, CS lead. Still up 20-something CS. So the Vayne was able to catch up here and make that 30 down to a 20 deficit. The 1 kill, 2 assists, though, is starting to look really good for that Caitlyn. We'll see what she can do, because as that turret goes down, that's going to allow the Vayne to catch a lot of the CS more safely.
Zach's
looking
for
for
something.
play.
Yeah, Zach looking for something. Morgana roamed down after
goes in
losing
on
tower.
this. Yeah.
But I don't think they get anything. They don't have vision. They don't know who's there.
Right.
I mean, so is there a point in this game where if you are FunEmployed, you just say like, yeah, this is risky, but we have to do this in order to stay close? Or do you just kind of let this, I mean, we're looking at 8K gold right now.
I think the desperation play should come at around a 50-50% risk marker. So if you look at a fight and you're like, that's a coin flip, okay, let's go for it. I think that's pretty good in my book. Anything before, outside of that,
Shockwave gonna knock her back. Gets the heal from the Soraka. Elastic slingshot. Bounce it. Let's go. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Gonna get locked down there. Popped. Morgana falls. Soraka ult gonna go out a little late. Ace in a hole coming through. Gonna hit the Soraka. And I think they're gonna dive this for the Zach. Possibly. Karma with the Q does miss. Coming up short, but they do pick up the first 2.
Yeah, one of the problems with that was Morgana didn't buy. She had 1,700, 1,300 gold in her pocket before that fight even started. So she didn't have a couple of the items that she needed in order to really get that damage down, whereas the Orianna has 3 kills, 160 CS, almost double that of the Morgana, and had a lot of that spent before that fight. So you're going to see a lot of damage difference coming out between the Morgana and the Orianna, just based on the amount of gold spent and earned.
Yeah, we're talking about effective power, right? And that gold doesn't have any power when it's sitting in your pocket, I guess. Pocket. Do they call it coffer? Oh, that's a TP in. Looking for the Caitlyn. Gets netted. Gun up. Oh, the flash counter-strike. Gets exhausted. Not gonna quite be enough. Is that going in? They just cannot lock it down. And as I say that, binding hits. Gonna get a bunch of damage onto the Caitlyn. Looks like he's going for it. The flash out. Vayne does pick up that 400 gold. All right.
But look at what this Orianna and this Wukong is doing on the other sides of the map. They're saying, nah, they can have some of that. They can even take a kill. We're going to take 2 more turrets.
Yeah, as you pointed
Wukong
out.
pushing one. Yeah, denting the other one.
Yeah, you're going to bleed out gold trying to get that 1 kill in there. You get the catch on the Caitlyn. You know, that's your saving grace. But aside from that, you know, you've got to play the map.
I really like that. And look, FunEmployed not able to get mid anymore. So we'll see if they could even stick around and get any of that standing gold. Currently, no turrets taken by FunEmployed, so they need to look for something here. Dragon is going to be that call for that something.
There is a pink ward there. Sees them doing this. They're going to be able to get there in time, though. Morgana splitting up. Oh, that's a flash.
Soraka also split.
Teleport used. There is no Jax coming in on this. However,
I think the call was skedaddle.
Yeah.
Cram.
Yeah. So Sejuani's got a burn flash, and I was worried because we can see it, but you know Morgana can't see it. And I'm like, no, you're going the wrong way, and then she had flash, so it was okay. It was okay. The dragon was worth it.
Yep, they did pick out Mountain Drake. That is going to be a little bit helpful, especially so that FreeloNStitch don't pick up that dragon. So opportunity cost here, net positive. Zach gonna run into a 4-level up Oriana. Look at the level difference on that.
Just clockworking him the whole way. Just clockworking him the whole way. Just get out of here.
Throwing the gears of time into his face, letting him know that he's behind.
If he was Zillion, he'd be throwing dirt clods. Because that's what he throws, right?
I always thought they were like lockets or something. Like
it's like little cogs, but it looks like it's just hobo Zillion, and he just throws dirt.
Yeah.
The Jax 1v3ing on turret here. Oh, the Soraka! Oh no, Soraka, turn around. You walked into the wrong neighborhood. This is over. Be careful. All right. Oh no. Soraka's still trying to get out. They're giving it over to the Caitlyn. Wow. The freeze up right there. Vayne, get out of there, please. Arctic Assault, gonna catch her. Not quite. Okay. We're all right. But I don't think she's able to hold here in mid.
No, absolutely not. I don't. You know, they got Rift Herald coming up. They're gonna try to get this turret before Shelly hits it. Yep.
I think right now,
Shelly is gonna be healthy for this hit.
FreeloNStitch putting on a clinic.
Yeah, showing how to end a game in due time.
Oh, they do catch it. Okay, they do catch it before the next hit.
Look at this rotation down bottom.
They're moving. Their wave is already there. Like you said, oh, but the Caitlyn gets caught out on the opposite side. Is there an engage coming? There's an engage, but it onto the Wukong clone. You know, you get excited.
That's a massive catch.
So, but what can you do? What can we get with this? Does it just
what do we
stay
get off
the
of that?
execution? I think it's just
right.
Yeah.
I think it just slows down the game. FreeloNStitch going to come back out, take their camps, look for some more turrets. I think that's what FunEmployed needs to do right here. So bottom, is that a soft push? Let's see if they left. No, it's not a soft push. So you can see they only spent 3.5 down bottom, so someone's going to have to address it again. Somebody's going to have to go stop mid. Top is also soft pushing back in. So if you look at the pushes on the two sides that needed to be important, nobody went to go address top immediately. Nobody's still addressing this bottom wave, so this is eventually going to push back and have to be dealt with later, which means that FreeloNStitch is going to be able to go back into their jungle, grab camps, and then catch these waves at an optimal time.
Yeah, it looks like right now we have an odd numbers fight going on. You have 4v3, and most of the time if you're 4v3 and you know, you're not the stronger team, that is probably a questionable call. Questionable.
And I like this movement from the Oriana, who's going to have teleport available, ult available, pushing down bottom in case she needs to go up top. She doesn't have the best pushing power, but she does have an incredible clear with that Ludens and Morello. A lot of AP there, so that she can get the minions to do the work for her.
Yeah, and right now, oh my goodness, the damage coming out there onto the Morgana. This I don't know if you want to mess with that one, but it looks like they'll probably start Baron here. Uncontested. You've got Vayne down bot showing automatically. Gonna get chunked out. I think Oriana just freely takes this turret too.
Yeah, FunEmployed needs to decide something here. Okay, if we're not going for Baron, we got to stop this push, and no one's coming down here to stop this push. Vayne looking to do it herself.
Does get
frustrated and comes forward.
Is gonna get that kill. And Baron gonna go over to FreeloNStitch. All right.
Yeah, that was a really frustrated, aggressive movement there from the Vayne, looking like, hey, where's my help? What's everybody doing? They're on Baron. If we're not gonna go for it, let's stop this Oriana from pushing. She already got a turret, still Oriana in the lane.
1v4.
Still in the lane, and everyone's afraid to go in.
There's the Jax going in with Counter Strike. Leap Strike gets the silence.
Coming. Yep.
As you said, team already backing her up. The binding hits, doesn't matter. That empowered shield coming through. Caitlyn just going to be able to hammer down this inhibitor. Jax addressing the mid wave. Isn't going to be able to join this fight. Another binding hits, but it's all for naught. Don't think you hold here if someone gets picked. Oh, the damage coming out. Going to leap strike out. Waiting for that second wave to come in. And getting the dragon at the same exact time.
So Weava, this is a tournament bracket. This is something that you gotta fight.
Yeah, jump in, gets a knock around. Let's bounce. Oriana gets popped before her ultimate goes off. Vayne gonna be able to pick up maybe one or two more. The condemn onto the Caitlyn. That was a good condemn. proper selection of targets there. The overchase. All right, so lucky
if
enough.
Oriana's gonna get caught like that, there is a shining hope for FunEmployed.
I know.
Maybe FreeloNStitch getting a little too confident here, stepping up and saying, hey, they're not gonna step up on me. They didn't do it before. But when they do, things go awry. And so FunEmployed here buying time so that they could scale into this game. We're at 23 minutes. This is allowing all of that farm to come into their base so that they can grab all of this CS. It gives that late game comp a shining hope here so that Vayne and Jax can grab as much damage as they can.
And you're right.
I think the Morgana here, she's building Zhonya's, and I think going a semi-support build is going to be the right call. A late game Morgana is not going to be that useful. So shoveling gold into the Jax and Vayne's pockets is going to be incredibly useful.
Cyclone does knock him up, stops his elastic slingshot. Oriana ultimate gonna go out. Shockwave hits there. Is that gonna come up? Vayne still chasing. So yeah, you were mentioning something there, which is very, very important, is that they do have 2 inhibs down. And most people are like, ah, man, we have 2 inhibs down. But you got to think about it. It's farm coming in. That's farm that the other team does not get. And there are no objectives on the map. They took Baron and Dragon at the same time.
Right. It's just one of those scenarios where, look, they got Baron, they got whatever, they're getting a couple of these turrets, but really that's a small thing compared to all this gold that's coming into their lap so that they can pick it up safely.
Ace in the hole. Okay, not bad, not bad. So a little bit of heal goes out onto the Morgana. Morgana, I think, gonna stick around because there is a Soraka there. She's very low on mana, though. And you're over here talking about this is a tournament-style bracket, and then a fight broke out.
I was gonna say, and this is an interesting question. You know, this is a tournament bracket. I thought they were about to lose. I was gonna ask you what FunEmployed needs to do about their mental for the next game, but it turns out if you fix your mental for this game, you might be able to win.
Might be able to win. They are freely taking this inhib. It looks like there's a black shield there looking for an engage. The counter-strike does hit. The second engage coming in a little too late.
They need to back out. They need to back out.
Shockwave hits on the base. Soraka ult gonna go out.
That was a massive
binding hits onto the Oriana. The binding with the shutdown. Wow.
Late game plays here coming from FunEmployed with the dance and against FreeloNStitch, who couldn't decide whether they wanted to stay or leave. The Oriana wanted to stay, wanted to get kills, got away with murder this game, literally, and well, figuratively, it's still a video game.
That's true.
So she was getting so many kills, and she's saying, "Hey, I'm massive. I can pop people," but she's not popping people anymore.
If she does not kill the target, you're gonna get caught by one of those Morgana bindings. You have to. She's getting out of position in order to land these shockwaves, and
exactly.
And one of the key things there was that Jax had Black Shield, jumped in. If Zach had his slingshot timed when Jax went in, they would have had a solid engage there. And
that's a wombo.
Yeah, that's a wombo immediately. That's stun into knock up into whatever else they want. So
especially when Jax gets to have his pickup targets going in.
That's a counter strike. That's exhaust coming out. Cyclone in a response, gonna get that knock up. Let's bounce going out. Heals going out. Redemption. Second Cyclone. Oriana is not there. That's a binding gonna land again. Taking down Sejuani. Gonna trade out the Zac. The Condemn coming in at the proper time. Gonna get the Wukong. Very, very low. Ticking down. Ignite. Not quite enough, but
Oriana's not in that fight. There's a huge disconnect here between FreeloNStitch. The communication between Oriana and the rest of their team.
Oh, dodges it even though the Black Shield is on. Great
Oriana's
job.
Playing a little bit frustrated here. She wants to end the game. FreeloNStitch not communicating well with that Oriana.
FunEmployed got Morgana on the turret right now trying to clear waves until Jax and Zac come back up. They do have pressure, but they will not have Sejuani. This is going to be a 5v4 again. Sejuani has to walk there. Are they going to retire from the base? They are going to retire from the base. I think they're going to look to pick up this dragon. So if you are FreeloNStitch right now, in your mind, are you just saying, we can't end here, we need to just play for dragon?
You know, if I'm FreeloNStitch, I'm a little bit worried about the mental of this Oriana. Maybe, you know, just not being on the same page with the rest of the calls here. They're saying, hey, pull back. We need to, you know, that wasn't a really great engage. Let's wait for some cooldowns. And Oriana's saying, no, I still have cooldowns. I'm going to try here. So they need to fix that disconnect that's going on so that they can put the final nail into this coffin that they've been building for FunEmployed. But FunEmployed's catching them off guard. They're seeing that Orianna up front and saying, that's a catch. Can we get in there? And that Morgana binding hits, Zax's, up front, making the rest of their team, run backwards. So they're doing a great job by causing chaos amidst this dissonance that's occurring between the Orianna and the rest of her team.
Yeah, I think they really, really need to have. I mean, if you get that Cyclone, right, and you have Wukong in there, and you get the Orianna ball on him, you're guaranteed to hit at least 2 people. Like, you don't have to move yourself up there to command attack to get in position. They're looking to take Baron again here. I don't think that FunEmployed even contests this. They're fine just saying, come to our base, we'll fight you again.
Yeah, and I think one of them needs to go push bottom here. They need to get some ward advantages. Somebody needs to go bottom and get that turret for all of these Baron roams, just so that they have extra gold in their pocket. Because right now they're looking for that end game, and that doesn't happen unless they get gold. They're all combined middle, sharing that EXP, sharing that gold, which is not ideal. Someone I think needs to go bottom there, teleport back. You would be back in time. Just grab a wave or two. And it also puts pressure on that bottom turret, but it looks like it's going to come down to a fight here.
Yeah, it looks like it. They're squaring up. Squaring up. You said, what you say about my mama? Zac looking to go in. Zac does land onto 3. The Counter-Strike going in. Gets a knockup. The Cyclone spinning around. Sejuani.
Already dead, though.
Oh, Jack's gone. Vayne falling. Oh, boy. That's just going to get cleaned up. This is finalized. And the last fight of this game between FunEmployed and FreeloNStitch is going to end in a bloodbath of a 5-4-0. Gonna take this one down.
Yep. Valiant effort, but the Vayne does go down with a flash in her pocket, so I kind of want to see how she died so quickly there. Bunch of damage went out. She went to about a quarter HP, and then somebody else took the remaining quarter HP from her. So she had flash, was able to probably get out of that. Surprised to see that she didn't use it.
Yeah, I think you're right there. It's maybe it ended up being like a surprise of some sort. I'm not sure, but I think that'll have to be something that's looked at for the next game, right?
Right.
I think if we're looking at number wise, we take a look at damage and things like that. It looked like Vayne was putting out a decent amount of damage, but it really pales in comparison when you're looking at these numbers and you see that it's Orianna with 26,000 and Caitlyn with 24,000, and the highest person on the other team for FunEmployed is 16,000 and that's the Vayne. So definitely the early advantage is built up, and I mean, how do you feel about how that played out? What are you thinking right now?
At the end there?
Yeah, after those fights.
That last play was so... The Vayne didn't need to step up. I think she just misplayed her position in that fight. Probably tasted a little bit too much too much blood from the fights before, and thinking I can get away with stepping up. But if the Orianna gets her balls on her face, like, that's not going to be a pretty situation for the Vayne. Like, that's not a position you want to be in. And I think that's how the fight started, without a Vayne. Zac and Jax are the initiators. That's the reason why the fights went so well before, because it caused chaos. It caused a lot of disruption and communication. Both of those guys go in, damage is getting split unless everyone agrees immediately who to target on the side of FreeloNStitch. So they need to say, put all your damage on Jax, but he's counter-striking. Put all your damage on Zac, who's in the back line and ulting. So it does cause a lot of disruption, especially if maybe Zac has the black shield from Morgana. But that didn't happen in that last play. All that happened was Vayne stepped up, got destroyed, and then the Zac and the Jax went in. So I'd want to watch that replay again later to see how that went. But I'm pretty sure that's what happened, because we didn't see the Jax engage. We didn't see the Zac engage. And it's just a matter of Vayne getting caught with flash available. So that's not something you want to see from the hyper carry, from the win condition, stepping up and getting destroyed like that. What did you think?
I think, as you were just saying, that it's extremely valuable when you're an 80 carry and you want to do a lot later in the game, and you really you don't want to ever feel like you're not doing anything and you're just hanging around But when you know that you are doing, let's say, most of the damage or a large portion of the damage, and you have a team who is kind of supporting you with the Soraka, with Morgana Black Shield, things like that, you have to know that you're the target. The other team knows that, right? The other team has been playing well this whole time. You have to know that they know they need to kill you. Like there's a 100% guarantee that they know that they need to kill you. So you need to kind of function as such and say, hey, you know what? I need to stay alive. It doesn't matter like what's happening right now. These fights break out. Maybe Jax dies when he jumps in. That's going to happen. But you need to treat it as such and say, hey, cool. If my Jax dies, my Zac dies, they're supposed to. But if I cleaned up, this Sejuani who dives into me or this Wukong and we kill them, cool, I'll take it. That literally stops their push because they're not going to, as we saw, right? If a binding hits Orianna, she's gone. And those bindings were the saving grace for them. It really was that situation where you're just like, oh, a binding hits, bam, somebody was gone. Oh, a binding hits or a condemn hits, like something like that. Someone gets caught out. So it literally just took for FreeloNStitch to say, all right, we're going to get this. We got Baron.
Before that happens.
Yeah, before that happens again, 5 people together, we're going to just run at you and force you to do something, or we're taking all your inhibs again. So
yeah, where that catch doesn't matter, where that chaos is no longer an issue for them. They just pushed forward, said, fine, we'll fight you.
Yeah, it was a very, very interesting, very interesting end to a game that, I mean, 10 minutes beforehand, we were like, nah, this is over, right? Nah, this should be over. And then it was, I mean, we see it even in pro play where it ends up being oh man, these guys should have wrapped this game up. They were 10K up at whatever point in the game. And then the fights start getting close. And then there's like an odd number fight. And it's really, really just, it's disheartening if you're that team and you're like, we need to finish this. This should be over. Right. So, I don't know. I think we're in for another one in, the next couple games. We've got two more games in the round robin, and then we have a best of 3 with whichever team performs the best. Right now, I've yet to see the to be fair, yes, team play, but I think they should. I want to see how good they do. I want to see how they handle FreeloNStitch, because FreeloNStitch are playing again. So FunEmployed will have the chance to look at what they did. And see, hey, you know what? If we can win this one, right? Because let's say right now, FreeloNStitch wins, right? If FreeloNStitch wins, they're 2-0, and then it comes down to whether or not FunEmployed can beat. To be fair, yes. And if they beat them, they get a run back against FreeloNStitch in the best of 3.